Hello everyone, today we would be discussing another Leetcode problem. This is the problem number 2, add two numbers. And what this problem says is that we would be given two linked lists as input and we just have to add all the elements and return the sum as output as a linked list. So as you can see with this example, we would simply add the numbers and return the solution as a linked list. And in cases where the list sizes are different, we just add the first elements and pass the carry, if there is any, to the last element and return the solution. So before diving into the solution, we need to learn about what linked lists are, and for that I have created this Jupyter notebook and I would share the link on GitHub. So what a linked list is linked list is a data structure that we use to store elements, and it is one of the most important topics while preparing for coding interviews. So what it does is that it basically stores the location of our first uh, element, data element, and after that each and every element stores the location to the next element. So what happens is once you have the head with you, you can just traverse the list and find out any element that you want, and you can perform operations like insertion, deletion, or just get a count of all the values. So here we create a class node, and the class the node element which would have two items in it. It would have one data variable that would store the data of all the actual values that we want to store in a linked list, and it would have a next pointer which would store the value of the next location of the next element. And we would have a linked list class that would have a head to refer to the first position, and once we have the first position, we can go to any element in our linked list. So head is a very important variable that uh, keeps a reference to the linked list. And these are a few other methods on the linked list class. One is to append elements to our list. So basically what this method is doing, it checks if the head is set to none, that means currently the list is empty. It would simply create a element and insert it in the head. So this is it would just pass the value and create a node object which location would be stored in head of the linked list. Or if the head is not none, so we would take a current variable which would be similar to head, but it would we would create a while loop on current and run it till the next element is none. So once we have, this is because the last element in our list would definitely have the pointer as null towards the next element because there's nothing after that, and to add a new value we need to calculate or find the last element. So once we have the element whose next pointer is pointing to none, so this is the location where we can insert our next value, and once we have that, we will set current.next to node and we'll pass the value of that object. And what this would do, it would append the new node with the value, and it would set its next as none, which means it would be the end of the list. So I'll just quickly run this and create a list. So this is a display function. What this function would do, it would simply check if our list is empty, it would return none, or else if the current element is we would take a current element and it would have the value of our node's head. So while current is not equal to none, we would just traverse the linked list and print the data value each time. So I have even created a function to reverse the list. You can refer this whenever if you want to find out how to reverse a linked list. Now coming to the problem. So first of all, we would create another linked list which we would be returning as our solution, and we can name it final list. We would create it as a new list. We would also use a carry variable that would initially be set to 0, but it's basically to check if the sum of the previous two elements returns any carry or not. So example, in 4 and 6 the sum is 10, so 1 would need to be passed forward, so we would use carry would be used to store that variable. So now we create a while loop to iterate over all the input lists. So while L1 would not be equal to none, that means while L1 does not end, or L2 is not equal to none, because we won't stop even like if one of the input lists gets empty and the other list has some values, we still would need to traverse it. So, and we would even include carry, because even if our lists are empty and we have a value in carry, we need to append that to our list. So we would take v1 and v2 as two variables to store the value of our list elements, like the value of a current list element that we would be using. So if L1, what if L1 would do, it would basically check if L1 still has any values left in it to be traversed, and it would basically put the value in v1 and it would go to the next element. Similarly for L2, now we would calculate the sum, and we would include the carry variable as well. So once we have this, we can check if sum1 is greater than 9. We can set carry as 1 for the next iteration, and we can set, else you can set it to 0. Now finally we get the value that needs to be inserted in a list, so we would take sum1 mod 10, because we don't want to insert 10 directly as a value, so we would mod it by 10 and just get the position at the units place. Now we will add this value into our list that we will be returning as our solution. We would just pass this value. Now we would simply return our final list. Dot next. We would so why have we written dot next? The reason is that when we create a new list, so the first value that the list has would be 0, because we haven't passed any variables while creating this new list node. So this or creating this object, so basically it would take the value as 0 for the first element, which is not which won't be needed in our solution. So we simply start from the next value, or the first value that would be needed. And let me just run this code. So yeah, it works fine. And yeah, this is my solution, and thank you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned to watch more.